Okay, so if we go to Appearance and Widgets, the most common use of this is customizing the sidebar. And the sidebar, of course, is the bar that appears on the side. And now, depending on your theme and how you've decided to format your site, it may appear on the left, it may appear on the right, may even appear on both sides, and on certain pages or posts, it may not appear at all. Okay, but at the simplest level, the sidebar appears on the side. So here currently is the name of the site, the tagline, the main menu, and some social links. So let's go to, back to the widgets screen. And customizing the sidebar appears here in the widget area, and there are no widgets currently. So it's very simple. If you want to list a monthly archive of your posts, you click, hold and drag it there. And you can do some minor customization, or just leave the default settings, and then we can just minimize that to just tidy things up a bit. It doesn't affect the appearance on the site, it just makes working with it a bit easier. Okay, if you wanted to list all categories, click, hold and drag. I missed. Let's try again. There we go. So I'm going to leave the default title, categories. Let's show post counts and let's show hierarchy. So save those changes and just make it a bit neater, and you can easily rearrange like this. So let's have categories at the top. Okay, what else? Meta, recent comments. Let's drag those in. Change the title to check out my recent comments. Actually, check out these comments. And we can change the number to something higher, like 20. Okay, tag cloud, which shows you which tags are used more than others. May as well drag that in. I'll just leave the default settings. Calendar, custom menu. If you want to add a menu to your sidebar. Okay, so you can select one of the menus you've created. For example, the main menu already exists in the sidebar, but we could add it again if it didn't exist in the first place, we could add it there. Okay, actually, let's save these. Save. Probably only have to click once, but let's just click on each just to make sure. And let's minimize this to make it a bit easier to work with. Okay. And yeah, pages, recent posts, search, a search box. Yeah, why not add that? Okay. And lastly, text, which is, I'll come to that separately because it's really important. Okay, so our sidebar is done. Let's go to the site and refresh and take a look. There we go. So this bit is what existed already. And then a list of categories, the number of posts in each category listed, and also the hierarchy of the categories made obvious. A list of a monthly list of past posts. So there's posts in this site for October 2015, and then the ones before that jump back to 2008. But I just populated this site with a load of old dummy content just to flesh it out. Okay, recent comments. There's our quite small tag cloud. As you can see, the more highly used tags are more prominent. And then our menu again and our search box. Okay, so that's how easy it can be to customize the sidebar. So actually what I'm going to do, I'm going to get rid of a lot of these. So you can either just delete, or if there's any particular settings you want to keep to maybe add back later, you can just drag it here to inactive widgets. Okay, so the sidebar's empty. Right, text. This requires maybe a little bit of technical know-how. But what you're going to be adding here basically is HTML code. So if you're not familiar with HTML, you might not want to deal with this widget at all. But for example, this is particularly useful if you want to add an email opt-in box to your sidebar. You can do that using by pasting in custom HTML code. And often such code is provided for you. For example, if you sign up to an email service, an email list service, so you can add forms for your email lists to your site. They often create the code for you, so you just have to copy and paste it in. So if you're comfortable doing that, then it's absolutely fine, but some of it may need a little bit of customization, so you might want to be familiar, or a little bit familiar with HTML. Okay, I've just quickly logged into a MailChimp account of mine. And you can go to Embedded Forms. And here it gives you some options for customizing the form, so people can subscribe to your email list, and then you just copy the automatically generated code into a widget. That's it. So in that example, MailChimp creates a code for you. You don't have to deal with any of the code. You just choose the options you want for your email opt-in form, and it creates a code automatically for you, so you can add that to your site. So let's say opt-in here. And that's how the form looks in the sidebar. So I could go back to MailChimp and make more, customize it further if I want. But yeah, that's how easy it can be to add complicated functionality to your site. If the code's generated for you in that way, then you can just add it directly into the text widget and add it to your sidebar that way. Okay, so I'm going to actually remove that from the sidebar for now, put it in inactive widgets, because I may add it back later. So the sidebar is once again empty. So what I wanted to quickly demonstrate is if we change theme. So I've been doing this demonstration in the default WordPress 2015 theme. And as you can see, widgets can only be applied to the sidebar. Whereas if I change over to the more feature-rich Enfold theme, okay, I'm not going to touch any of those options now. Let's just go back to widgets. And you see there's more options now. More widget options here. So you can have an advertising area, a combo widget, Facebook like box, etc. But also you can specify where these widgets appear. The sidebar that appears on blog posts, or the sidebar that appears on pages, or the footer, the column 1, the first column of the footer that appears on every page. And also here, footer, column 2, column 3, column 4. Or displayed everywhere, displayed on every single sidebar. So again, different themes give you many different options, and in this instance gives you many different places to place widgets. So let's just go to the site quickly and refresh. I haven't done much customization really, but it will look very different immediately, of course. There's the sidebar. Okay, it's showing recent comments. And if we jump down to the bottom, there's the columns in the footer that we can customize if we choose. Okay, so that's how widgets are used, generally in the sidebar and also other places in the site if your theme supports that. And as well as the default widget options available, you can add quite advanced functionality through the text widget, where you can add text or HTML.